Good morning, good people. Let's do some music while we are getting ready. Grab a coffee and let's get together in a few minutes. So here is something happy. Good morning, everybody. Glad to see you everywhere. I'm actually recording this because we are so close to Mercury retrograde, and usually all kind of crappy things happen to me in the shadow before, as it did this time, like my tablet, laptop, 3-in-1 tablet, laptop, whatever you call it, the third one, television. It kind of losing a cursor on it, so I guess it just goes with Mercury retrograde, me and my computers. Hello, everybody. I'm going to use Tarot Muha. This is a Czech painter, so I guess the tarot is inspired by his paintings. I kind of liked it when I saw it, especially because of my Czech background, but I think it could be better rendition. Let me see, did I take everything out that we need to take? Yes, I did. But it's very lovely, it's very romantic. So let me see, my plan for today is as follows. We're going to do the readings for all the signs. We are going to start with the birthday sign Libra, and after Libra, this one is going to go. Did I take one? I took one. This is going to go after Libra. Then what we will have is kind of like doors, which Barbie, who probably will show up on time because I was a little bit before, is going to call. If she doesn't show up, any of the mods will probably do it. Usually goes after a 6 signs, red, and then at the end. And lastly, so this is basically your time to do it. If you basically become my moderator at some point, and I started it last week, I'm going to also pull a card for you. Last time I pulled an angel card, but this time I'm going to pull Tarot of New Vision card, so that way you can kind of like see what's going on. So there you go. Barbie is a master moderator. She's the one who takes care of the stamps and puts the stuff on my channel. So hey to Barbie. So let's start. Happy birthday to Libra. So Barbie is Libra, so she's going to do her stuff. So Barbie, I'm going to do your reading in the next few days. Just I'm timing it just to be close to your birthday. So Libra, let's do this, Libra, and let's see what is in a store for you, my dear Libras. If anybody has a coffee, what time it is? I think Kylie is probably not drinking coffee. Believe it or not, Kylie is logging all the way from down under, from Australia. So what is it, 2 o'clock in the morning? So talking about dedication, I appreciate that. Knitting Yogi is in the States, Maine, I believe. Isa, hello, that's in Mexico over here. Hi Charlie Bear, you're new to the channel, welcome. Where are you from and what is your sign? Tell us. So that way, like, I mean, welcome. This is such a lovely community. Everybody's like supporting everybody here, so it's kind of like lovely to do that. So let's see. Libras, what do we have? Yeah, making a cup. Oh my gosh, Kylie, you're like too much. I visited my dad on Thursday and I had a real coffee, not a decaf coffee, and I couldn't sleep the whole night. It was like really, really weird. Oops. So you're having something jumping, and this is lovely. It is like 9 of Cups. So you guys are really enjoying your birthday transition, I would say. Almost like it looks to me that you are, especially if you're singleton, like you are really, either you're singleton or you want to do certain things like being single. And look at it. It's just, I was saying this, the sun started to show up in Toronto. We were supposed to be very, very warm today, like 85. But when I went to walk Tiger, it was just maybe 70. So I think it's going to start warming up. So there we go. And this is, that's Queen of Swords. I'm still kind of like trying to decipher some of these cards. So you have, let me just put the mousey somewhere else. So you have 9 of Cups, then you have 4 of Pentacles, and then you have a Queen of Swords, which would be you. There is like a pleasure that you have. Maybe you are, it almost looks like you might overspend and then go, oh my gosh, what I did. So you're maybe treating yourself for your birthday and then you're saying, well, you know what, I don't know about it. This also can be interpreted as you're really shying away from a relationship and you're letting through, like you're being very, very, I don't know if picky is a good word. I don't like using picky when somebody is really saying, look, I already know this will be a dead end. I'm not going to go there. That's what Queen of Swords does, right? Also, if you see her in this particular card, she doesn't hold her sword up. She's not cutting anybody out. It's not also down on the ground. It's not fully relaxed, but sort of she is ready and willing to swing it at any given point. So this is something you guys really need to keep in mind. I also like the decorations on her. It's kind of like very rich and she's clearly in her element. There is like some kind of like contentment with you. It looks to me that there is like a phase of your life that is ending and a new phase is beginning. And there is like something in it that is, oh, look at Barbie showing chestnuts. I love chestnuts. You're from Ireland and Aries. Welcome, welcome. So that's Charlie Bear, our newbie over here. So guys, I would say this week is not going to be any kind of like rocking the boat. And usually Libras get very triggered, especially if you participate in politics or if you participate in kind of like any kind of like debate. As I said in the monthlies, this can be like very much like that, like I mean after this new moon, that you'll be kind of like dealing with partners who will be very kind of like politically oriented, or it's going to be some kind of like level of debate. It looks to me like in your case you will be on the top, so you will be very you'll be very kind of like clear about what you want, and hence only let people come to you that you feel are going to contribute to you and not take away from you. So that doesn't mean that somebody disagrees with you. That means if you just feel that just there are some big issues that are already there, you're not going to even be discussing it. You're just going to go off, see ya, I kind of go you, right? So that's kind of like Kylie said, not picky, just happy, focusing on me this year. This is kind of like not necessarily focus on you, but this is kind of like enjoyment of who you are and enjoyment what you are doing, and kind of like exploring your own self to the maximum. And I think that's very much Libra. It's peace. Kind of reminds me on this card with Four of Cups. Mind you, Four of Cups is not the greatest card, but this one is. So I guess that's why it is. Anybody who is coming in your life that you feel would disturb that, pardon me, that equilibrium that you have, and that will be Tiger, you're going to react like that. That's going to be, okay, buzz off, leave me alone, and don't cross over my territory. That's probably what happened. Somebody just walked in front of the door, and he is not allowing this to happen. So Libras, it's going to be a good and peaceful week, and you're going to truly, truly enjoy yourself. What's up, Taggy? Who is there? Who is there? So let's see who was here in waiting. Who is here in waiting? Let me just make it a big screen. Big screen, and have a sip of coffee. Who did I not say? Anita. Hello, Anita. How are you doing? So we have Virgo going next. So we have few Virgos here, I believe, right? Needing Yogi is one. So let me see the timestamp. Virgo. Let's see what happens here. Look at this. Barbie enjoying it. And then 10 to 16. No, we still have a little bit off until Halloween. Like, I mean, they shut us down in Toronto. We went back to partial stage 2. So stage 1 is all good. I think stage 1 is good. Stage 2 is, yeah, there are worries. And stage 3, everything is like a lockdown kind of a thing. So that's not a good sign with this thing. So Virgo, you have Ace of Swords reversed. You have also Four of Pentacles like Libra had, and these two wanted to come out as well, which is the King of Pentacles, and you also have the Emperor. So I don't know if you guys are dealing with Aries or somebody who just likes to butt head with you. It looks to me that you feel that somebody lets you down, and as a result, why is this telling me that there is like not enough to? Sorry, I'm getting the YouTube notification here for some reason, but everything is okay on my end, and I checked it. So Virgo, my apologies. It's going to be just something like that somebody will not want to answer a question to you. You're going to ask, you're going to demand certain answers, and I don't really think it's going to be a direct lie, but it's going to be answered in a way to kind of like remove your concerns without really giving you a clear answer. And I think you're going to be really, really aware of that, because this Four of Pentacles always talks about somebody, but look at him. He's holding everything he has. He's sitting on 2 pentacles. He's holding this everywhere. In this particular case, it almost looks like a sacral region, not necessarily heart region in the regular ones. So maybe you're just saying to yourself, I just like need to shy away from this person. Almost like looks like sex denial, to be honest with you, over here. There is like a clearly some kind of like battle of the wills, but not necessarily out. Not necessarily that you're butting heads. It's almost like you're saying to yourself, you think you're smart, I will outsmart you. It's sort of like you are strategizing. because this is you. You're kind of like looking for the main goal. So this is kind of like strategy is like, I really need to get there, this is what I want, and you or what you're doing is in my way. So you are, instead of like going head on and telling this person what to do, you're kind of like looking in the ways how you can use other people, who else is going to help you in this way to get there. But you also have the Emperor, which really talks about control and authority. So whether this is you, or this is going to be, let's say, a boss or a judge or a police officer. You see somebody who has emotional component removed, right? Maybe you're looking in a situation in a very emotional way. This can also talk to me about reviewing your husband, let's say, or your partner, and thinking to yourself, okay, I had enough of your poo-poo. Now, you know, we are going to do certain things differently, without necessarily communicating that to them, without necessarily saying this is the way it's going to be, but just basically instead kind of like doing your things the other way, how to do it. Hello, Catherine. Welcome. So let's see also, Virgo, what we have here for you. We have strength, and this is like the tree hugging over here. I love this card because literally I hug the tree like that. I told you, especially if it's evergreen, and I really feel my stress kind of like goes away with this. So you probably want to be reactive over something, but you are not going to be. And this is probably a good thing, because during Mercury retrograde, lots of things happen, and we are in pre-shadow, and when things happen, then we sometimes regret what we say, and sometimes we don't know why we said it. It's just kind of like people push your buttons and then you say kind of crap. This really keeps jumping out. So you will need to brace yourself with how you deal with this, because you'll made aware that somebody is somebody is dishonest, or somebody is not telling you something, and that doesn't have to be necessarily a lie per se, but you're going to wonder if this person is on my side, right? If this really happens. Hello, Chris. Nice to see you. So we have another Capricorn. California is in the house as well. So is Safi in the house? Is Safi in the house? Oh, Safi's in the house. Let me get another sip. She just like, I mean, went through the table. You like readings, Safi? Please don't move the camera. Yeah, please don't move the camera. Shadow Bakisha is playing loud in my mind for Virgo. That's appropriate. All right, so the next one is Capricorn. Look at Chris. Chris is in the right time, in the right place, in the right time. So, any more Capricorns, or somebody that deals with Capricorns? On timestamp. Okay, Capricorn. 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 Oops. We have the Empress, my dear Capricorn. Somebody new in your life, but we also have the World reverse, which is kind of like very same energy. And Six of Pentacles. Is something else flicked? No. Now this is very interesting. Like the week is starting very well. Maybe like there's like something that you feel you can nail it, you can finish it, or you simply might feel unaccomplished. You feel like that something or somebody is dropping a ball. This is definitely Venus oriented card, but when you have something Venus oriented, that really talks about beauty and talks about generosity. It talks about more or less connection to the family. It's like with the Emperor we have everything kind of like stern control, but here it is like everything soft, sort of like that divine feminine energy. This also Venus in horoscope relates to Libra and Taurus, so you might be dealing with these people. Here with the World card, and look at her, she's actually partially covered in this rendition. We also have the fixed signs. We have Taurus, we have Leo, we have Scorpio, which is represented with an eagle, and we have Aquarius over here. So this all could be simply kind of like horoscope energies that you're dealing with. When we deal with the fixed signs, it means there is some kind of structure. Fixed signs have the tendency to set their own structure and then insist on it, and then insist that this is pretty much the only way to kind of like get along with them, right? To their credit, to our credit, because I'm a fixed sign, the structure is really, really good. To basically our detriment, we are very, very stubborn about it, and kind of like that gets in the way. So maybe, and the World card is not a really good card when it reverses, because this is one of my karma cards. It's almost like celebration, everything good is happening. When it's upright, accomplishment, you're ready to move on with your destiny. When this reverses, so we are talking about possibly, is this my air conditioning working? I thought I turned it off and I didn't. So that's what is messing with me. Just give me a second. I'm just going to do this. There you go. You guys know that I have slight OCD. I really, when I do the reading, I focus so much that I'm drained of energy after that. So when this world reverses, this could be just like that, that you really wanted to accomplish something and something just happened in a way. So for example, you have a feeling somebody's going to tell you, I love you. And then somebody opens the door and the moment is gone. Or somebody wants to propose. Maybe something like that is going on through your head. And this is finalizing with this like Six of Pentacles, which is also talking about generosity and charity. And like maybe because we have like this kind of like energies of Taurus very, very strongly coming through, because both of them will kind of like have the Taurus in there, and this is the earth energy, which kind of like really works and gels well with yours. Maybe it's going to be some situation where you are going to learn a little bit more balance, or a little bit more negotiation is going to take you a long way. Also some kind of charity. I don't know if you're going to be donating money or time, or somebody's going to ask you for advice, but you're not going to jump in all the way, not with 2 feet in. You're going to just say, look, this is how much I can do, and that's all I can do, but I can do that. It's not, I'm not going to deny this. And there it is, like you have this compassion. You are going to be somewhere for somebody, and that is clearly telling me that you are working on some kind of a karmic point, that you're going to be challenged this way. So maybe you should guys remember my words when you see it, because that is going to be something that is going to come to play later. So my dear Capricorn, that's much here. So Barbie, I don't know if you have been here when I was making kind of like my plan for today. So what we are going to do, Barbie, as usual, you're going to call doors, which is kind of like you guys can ask the question. I'm telling this for the new ones. But I'm also going to pull a card for all the mods. And I mean, we can do it also twice if you wish, so let me know when you want to do that. And I'm not going to pull angel cards this time, but I'm going to pull Tarot of the New Vision instead. So much better. So Nathan Yoga is saying, exactly, a friend, an Aries psychiatrist, who asked me to join a group, no therapy. At first it was fine, but lately every time I talk to her, very critical of things I'm doing with my life. Psychiatrists, like, I mean, and our psychologists, like, we sometimes have that bad tendency, right? Because sometimes I really have to stop myself, because it almost looks like you're being negative because you see patterns. It's weird that you're saying it's Aries. I have a really, really good friend who is Aries, and currently her her dog is very, very sick, right? So all along the path I was saying, please don't walk the dog by the neck, don't. Color is okay for like just like a necklace. But you know, ever since I heard from my ex, who is a veterinarian, that you know, you really kind of like hurt dog's trachea if you kind of like walk them by the neck. I said to her like a long time ago, no, okay. And she even has that collar that it tightens dog's neck if dog just gets out of place. And I consider this is just another basically being, and you have to let them kind of like do the wrong things also. So now her dog is very sick and she's coughing and she cannot cough, and they don't know what it is. So right now I'm trying not to be critical, as you said. I'm trying to be supportive, but it's still going through my head. So don't let other people kind of like tell you what to do. Just because somebody is a psychiatrist doesn't mean that they know you. They shouldn't be making diagnosis. So you are right to leave the group and back away if this is kind of like creating the problems in your life. Oh, I didn't pull. Who is next? We have Scorpio next. Scorpio. What happened to the sun that they have promised in Toronto? I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, Barbie got the message. So now we have directive, and I like when I stray away, Barbie goes, no, we are doing this now. Let's do it. Let's go. And that's awesome. So this one went to come out. And this is like the Chariot. Oh my goodness. And it is reversed. And Mercury retrograde and Chariot reverse. What could go wrong? Scorpio, computers, transportation methods, communication. Be very careful. Things can really get out of hand over here. And in fact, almost looks like they will. But let's see what else. And then we have Queen of Cups reversed. Almost looks like something is going to happen that is going to kind of like take you completely out of your zone over here, because you're going to get overly emotional, distraught, and maybe even judgmental, or you might even jump into trying to control somebody and demanding like that certain things have to be the certain way, and that can be really, really difficult over here. There is like a spiritual component that is really happening for you. You have like 2 sevens. Let me just grab the angel card. Communication. Well, communication is still happening in these cards, except this communication is done in a way that you get on top. I mean, Queen of Cups is the one who has the biggest cup, right? And the biggest cup is closed versus all the other cups being open or spilled. But when is she having it here? Almost looks like it's either, you tell me, is this a snake or this is a jury? I think it's a fish. Could be a fish that she has it here. Queen of Cups is not Pisces, so that's why it would surprise me, but it would make sense. So this is kind of placed there. So this cup is kind of like turned around, this opens, and that means she's just downloading a whole bunch of stuff. So maybe it looks like somebody's going to step on your tail and you're going to roar and you're going to kind of like really lose it. Maybe somebody's going to overstep their boundaries. As you can see, this Chariot in this particular case almost looks like, except the crown, he kind of looks, he has some kind of like royalty inside. And the Sphinx are here just deciding, we are not going anywhere. Like no amount of motivation is going to get me somewhere. Maybe it just like fell in some kind of like rut somewhere. And like, I mean, Scorpio sometimes also being a fixed sign create drama in order to kind of like create this like momentum and create emotions and kind of like stirring things up. It's kind of like your forte. But it's usually good when it comes to motivating, it comes to moving mountains. It's usually very bad when it comes to personal relationships, and maybe when you're testing partner, you're unsure about a partner because the other person is not able to go that deep with you. And so be very careful about it. Like, well, this is really landing on 7 of Wands, and this is kind of like really weird rendition. Usually this card should talk about us defending our position, but here I don't even think he is. He is clearly protecting his own heart. He's keeping this wand over his heart chakra. He kind of like really doesn't care for the rest. So it's almost like you are withdrawing from the situation, or something will be brewing that is going to get you to kind of like not to be interested with things that are going on over here. So let's see. And please, guys, if you haven't please like, and that really would be amazing. So another sip of coffee while I shuffle through this. And of course I had to spill the coffee on Barbie's paper here with stamps. We have Aries next, so now we can find your psychiatrist thingy here and see. Okay, so Aries, 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 Aries. You know, in eating yogi, we have lately almost like onset of these professionals, and I'm not just talking about psychiatrists, I'm talking about the police, I'm talking about medical professionals. Everybody is kind of like saying, well, you know, I know this, and hence you have to do this. This is all good if they really know you, and if kind of like, if this is like a advice. But if there is insistence of doing it, then it's the best to walk away. Now Aries, there's like something really karmic happening. You got 2 karma cards in a 3-card reading. You got Justice and you got World. So to me, World is a karma card, even though it's kind of like instant karma sort of a thing. So it's a half karma card because it's happening right now. So for you, this week is going to be extraordinary important. My brother is Aries, and I know for him exactly this is going to mean one of his kids, a Libra, is actually celebrating her birthday. So interestingly enough, I mean, he has a sister which is Aquarius and a wife who is a Leo, right? So now there's a still Taurus and Scorpio kind of influence over here. So I really think it's going to be for you, Aries, kind of like a grounding influence, kind of like trying to build upon what you already had. Maybe there is like some kind of like karmic balance that is really happening, if not particular balance, if you're not already dealing with a Libra or something. But Libra is also the opposite of your sign, so it might feel that you need to contribute to that balance, or there's like something demanded of you to kind of like get to that dimension, get to that spot. 7 of Pentacles is that card where, you know, you're kind of like really wondering what to do next. I collected a whole bunch of these kind of things which shouldn't be growing in Canada, right? As I told you last time, they smell really nice, and it is called breadfruit. Apparently you can bake it, you can do the same thing as with potatoes, you can do curry. Since I never ate it, I like experimenting things. I want to do something, because apparently the first time in the season you eat fruit, and especially if you eat it in life, it brings kind of like great luck. You can kind of like put a wish in it, right? So this is kind of like something like that. What do I do with this, and how do I move forward with this? Is it even worth it? Should I just freaking trash it and forget about all the effort, or should I really continue with this? So there is like that kind of like debate that is really going on over here. So there is also the whole cards would actually end up to the energy of 3, but also this is the 3 energy that we see here. So I really think this particular week it might be a little bit of struggle to pull it through. Not too much of struggle. It's not, you're not going to argue. You might be asked, like somebody might say, you always do it this way, why can't you do it my way? Something like that might happen. But instead of you kind of like biting kind of horns with this person, you'll say, okay, fine, we'll do it your way. And it's going to go against your better judgment, because actually going to feel you shouldn't be doing this way, but you will see actually it's going to work out. And I'm going to say, that method also works, and it was not something that you considered before. So overall, really good week. Overall, you kind of like be able to feel much lighter by the end of next week, and you're going to feel very accomplished as well. Forgiveness. So you might need to forgive to someone, or somebody might need to forgive you. I think it's more that you will need to forgive someone and say, okay, maybe it could be a marital issue here, that you kind of like say, okay, you know what, It is what it is. We decided to go through this life journey to be together, and all of these things that are coming in a way are challenges for us. We will kind of like go through this, and we will go through this together. Kind of like I am all in for this. So really, really lovely. You're going to show the strength of character. So I know in yogi likes for the Aries, but it could be like that person that you're dealing with is going to actually realize their, you know, shortcomings and kind of like what they need to go through, or they definitely are not the Aries who would come to my channel, and hence they will have completely different vibration. So let's see to catch up with this. Those things look crazy. You know, they smell really weird. They smell lovely. So I'm using them as potpourri, my bread and fruit. So they smell something like a lemon pineapple, and it's kind of like very refreshing. So I learned from the Ethiopian restaurants, that they kind of like put 3 lemons or a few lemons in a bowl of water, and they put celery kind of like stuck to it, and they use the and cover it with water, and they use that as a potpourri, and it really works much better than all this kind of like dried and dead things. Hey CBO, there we have Canada is in the house. How are you? Okay, so the next one is Libra. We already read you, Libra, so we are going to just tuck you aside. And then the next one is Taurus. Okay, Taurus. Okay, Taurus. Sip of coffee. Taurus. Happy Thanksgiving. That's right, guys. Thanks for reminding me. We actually have Thanksgiving in Canada this weekend, so we are ahead of our American neighbors. Look at that. Now you have, was it the Capricorn? They had the Empress and the World, but like you have it all up. Taurus, this is something really big happening. This particular, oh my gosh, I'm having goosebumps. You have three major arcanas, which means something really, really big is happening. So this is the energy of 3, this is the energy of 2, and this is the energy of 3. So ultimately it's the energy of 8, but you really cannot go with that when you have 3 major arcanas, because literally I have to read to you pretty much the orders from the universe, really, if you wish about it. So again, the World card, being to me semi karma card, it means something's happening right now, so it's really applicable is because we are just reading for a week. So this week is going to be big for you. You're going to be strong, you're going to feel fully comfortable, you're probably going to treat yourself with food, possibly even some kind of gift. And if there are some kind of legal issues, or if there's like balance in the universe that needs to happen, this is going to happen with this card, which is here, the Justice card. And again, just like as I was saying to Aries, which kind of like was the opposite basically, still this means that not only are you finalizing something, maybe something happened in the past week that you felt, okay, now I feel comfortable, I'm in a comfort zone. Maybe there was like somebody who you didn't want to make your mind up, because you guys are very cautious, you move very slowly, and when somebody ticks you off, oh boy, you know, they are in the doghouse forever. So here it is, meaning, hey, something really, really happens, and it feels good. It feels that you're moving forward. It feels that you're comfortable. And there is like this bounty, and it's pleasant, and it's emotional. But nonetheless, you also feel that maybe you need to resolve some issues. Maybe some of you will be writing the will. Maybe some of you will thinking about getting married, or kind of like send something properly, send something kind of like really that can kind of like happen. The Justice card, when it appears, it means that you are getting right now from the universe what you need to be getting, and you're clearly in the process of something. This also, guys, can indicate a mother and a daughter of some sort, and some kind of like connection that is really happening, that is lovely. Or maybe you can learn about your daughter's upcoming nuptials, that sort of things that is happening. Really, really, really good, right? So, oh, you're welcome, Charlie. It's good to see you, and hopefully you stay, because I guess I forgot to say, when you're on the live, Yes, surely you're waiting for your own sign, but absolutely, because you're on a live reading with me, every single sign can send you messages, as you will see from the other mods. They kind of like already understand it, so we'll keep stressing this. You see, depth, that's what it is. You are deeply connecting with someone, and that could be like this Aries, Scorpio, Leo, Taurus that I see here. There I also see Libra very prominently showing over here, which is really interesting because it talks about there are like some things set in place in the universe that are here that will either protect you or things are done right. So this is all good in your universe, and this is going to be a very strong week, and it's going to be very, very quantitative shift in energy that you're going to really feel. Okay guys, so Barbie, my master mod, is saying it is time for you to have a question for yourself. Which deck I'm going to use? I'm going to use this deck, and I'm going to find a mouse and hide it a little bit so you can guys think of the question you want to ask. Okay, I'm going to put 3 cards on the table, left, center, and right. So it will be left door, center door, and the right door. So you have to decide which one do you want for yourself. So I have the left, I have the center, and I have the right. Are you ready, guys? You have decided which one you're going to use from these doors? Okay, so if you pick the left one, there is possibly a question either about a connection with someone or willing for somebody to come back. That's unfortunately not going to happen, because the Lovers means that somebody's deciding to cut the ties, cut the bones. They're just the feeling that it's not you. Maybe this is what you heard. It's me, it's not you. And they were actually very honest, because what is basically happening is they are making a decision. It could be that you're dealing with somebody who is in a relationship, so hence they don't want to leave it, they can't leave it, and this is kind of like going to create a whole bunch of upset and nightmares on your end. But unfortunately, this at this point cannot happen. And because the major arcana came through, it's reversed. It's telling you this is also not a good path for you to take, right? Because it can be very painful. Those of you who picked the door number 2 got 3 of Swords reversed. Maybe some of you went through something very painful. Maybe there was like some kind of rejection. This can talk about a third party kind of situation. This is a card, when it reverses, it talks about that the worst is over. And there is like some kind of like healing that is starting to take place. Now, can I answer with yes or with no? I really can't on this card, because this card means that there is like still some work on the inside that you need to take place. There's still certain kind of communications that they need to take place, and the process is still not ready to culminate, but it's looking up if nothing else. And the door number 3, we have the Judgment reversed. And that's one of those cards. It's a karma card, and it came reversed. And it's really telling you that something is really happening. It's almost like you'll be drawn in a situation, or something is happening that is going to be affecting people karmically, and maybe almost like negatively if you really wish. Judgment, of course, can talk about death as well. So given this, it means you die and then you go before basically God, is a theory, and you review and confess all your sins, because at that stage you're just trying to review, almost like as if it's not you, it was a human experience and this is what they could have done better. So this card is a no, but it's also telling you not only it's a no, but it's telling you you need to kind of check your own ways of how you're dealing with things, because you might win it, you might get it, but it's going to come back later, and it can create a difficult situation. Whew. So we are getting lots of kind of like stern warnings over here in this particular reading. So I don't know why I'm coughing. I feel like, I mean, that I got a flu. I really hope it's not COVID. Man, that would suck. And I'm really kind of like wearing a mask everywhere, unless I got it from my dad, who is reckless when it comes to it. Okay, you know what? When we are here, let me pull the cards for the mods as well. So let's see who are the mods here, so they can get their weekly readings. So mod Barb is a card coming for you, and you're getting 8 of Wands. So 8 of Wands is basically you're going to feel that you want to attack somebody, you want to kind of like be proactive in a situation, but somebody is going to really disarm you and tell you, maybe I was a little bit standoffish because I kind of like really like you and like what you do. So it's going to come to you as a surprise, the message you're going to get from somebody. So that's going to be actually really, really lovely. So let me scroll it back just to go in well, CBO, I cannot get a test. I called Shoppers Drug Mart and they told me it's like a 2 weeks waiting. All right, don't have enough symptoms to go to the hospital, so I really don't know the heck what you do. And that's exactly what I wanted to do when it started yesterday. So the next one is Knitting Yogi, and you're having a 10 of Cups. You're going to have a great like family time. It's going to feel embraced. You're going to feel comfort coming through. You're going to feel accomplished that something is really happening. That usually means graduation, but since graduation is not happening right now, it could be some kind of like accomplishment that kind of like brings this note. So this is Kylie, this is yours, and not only that you got 1, but then another ace came through, and also 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands means kind of like battling kind of like things and trying to see what you do next and how you go about it, and kind of like you're done with this. And almost like you don't want strife anymore. You're just saying, look, I really need to see that something flows. If it feels constrained, if you feel something, you're not going for it. You are setting the grounds and roots and seeds for something. Look, you have a 9-11 literally here. It's almost like a wake-up call that you're getting, and that wake-up call is telling you set new seeds, because you're right now kind of like on that cusp that something new can be completely born and created. And it's actually a really lovely combination when you have the Ace of Pentacles. It's something that's going to last a long time. So we did Knitting Yogi, we did Barbie, and who is there? Chris, let's see yours. And you're getting the Knight of Wands and the Swan. Is somebody going to pee? Oh, you have the Ace of Swords. Is somebody going to pee in your cereal? It might be that somebody is playing a double game, and this could be not necessarily a woman, but could be a friend, or could be a parent, or it could be a child that is telling you that you are very authoritarian of some sort. There is like some kind of like juggle that is happening. Maybe you're juggling somebody. Maybe there are 2 people in your life, and then somebody's telling you why you're doing this. So basically what you will need to do this week is some kind of like clarity and some kind of clarification that kind of like really, really needs to happen, right? And the Ace of Swords is a karma card, and there's like some motion that kind of like moves forward, and it's like, I mean, it's going to be getting to the point that all you need to do is just like say the truth, speak the truth, and people will realize it, and it's going to resonate. Did I forget any mod here? I'm just scrolling through here, and I think I covered it all. If I didn't, please raise your hand and tell me about it. Okay, so next one is, we're going to the second part. Next one is that fits opportunity that was offered to me this week. Good. Now, Aquarians, we are next. Let's see, Aquarians. I love the chestnuts falling everywhere. Just like this breadfruit falls everywhere. Like where I go and walk, Mr. Tiger. Okay, this one wanted to come out, and which is like the Hierophant reversed. And the Fool. And I was just about to say, Hierophant reversed is really a tricky card. But since it's falling for Aquarius, that's actually alright. So then we have here a Nine of Wands. So guys, it's also something looking up. Like Hierophant is always talking about structures and everybody's bending down, and look at the arrogance over here. It's almost like kiss my feet, wash my feet, which kind of like shows the ultimate sign of humility. But when Hierophant reverses, and this is kind of like typical for Aquarians, is look, I'm not taking this kind of like classical ways of dealing with things, kind of like it's a liberated way of doing this, and we are freeing ourselves maybe from some kind of like compression. Maybe we have dealt with the law, because the Hierophant can be the law if you wish, or the authority, and now we are feeling that there's like some new freedom and that we can spread our wings and fly. So there is like a really two major arcanas showing through. There is like a really big sense of freedom that is going to be craved. I also feel that some Aquarians will start with need to exercise. So by the way, last month I promise you that I'll start losing weight. I didn't do as well as I was hoping for, but I have lost 14 pounds. So I told you to keep me responsible, and everybody is here like so quiet and so nice not to ask these questions, but I told you you can. So you have relaxation. We have relaxation. So it is something that is no longer a burden, I would say. This is the best described this way. It's no longer that we feel oppression. Like, I mean, the Hierophant can represent the church people, the police. Not so much legal system, but it could be the bosses. It could be a husband who is saying, well, you have to do this because women do that kind of stuff, or men do that, sort of like this is your traditional role. So Hierophant represents this like big organizations, even the government, right, that kind of like are hardly moving. It's almost like that we are getting into those newfound zest. This is a really fast moving knight. It differs from the Knight of Swords, which kind of would represent kind of like our element, but this is kind of like activity. So it can talk exercising, it can talk about interchanging ideas, but it can talk somebody new entering our life. So there are like some elements of this air and fire, which is like something that is going to make us very enthusiastic about doing that. And relaxation, just don't overdo it, because that can actually make us very tired, but I really don't think that's going to happen this particular week. So I hope I don't find them. That's hilarious comment, Barb. No, you won't. Isanuka, congrats, can go for it. I'm turning and walking to lose weight. We can do it. Well, that's what I do. I'm not doing anything specific other than I just stopped eating sugars and all this kind of like simple carbohydrates, and I walk Tiger a couple of hours a day. So that's basically all that happened. So, and it worked. I still have a long way to go. Okay, my target is April. In April that I'll finish it, but you never know. Things can get slowed down. The next one is Cancer. Cancer. Cancer, Cancer. And Cancer. Let's see. CBO, bye-bye. Nice to see you here. Cancer. Look at the maze. For Cancer, that's another thing I cannot eat, and I love corn. Ooh. And I was like, I just saw Three of Swords and it didn't look like that, and then I remember that was like in the doors. Look at that, how painful this is. She's just crying and she's just looking into the Cancers. Oh my gosh, I'm just like really feeling that could be some kind of like pain. Do we have any Cancer over here, guys? And please, guys, put a like if you're here, so I know that you are here. So I don't know it's not showing me anymore what should be showing me this curve, but hopefully, because There's just few people commenting and there are more people online. So Cancers, what do we see? We see this Three of Swords, then we have the Four of Cups. Somebody has hurt you. Somebody has hurt you and you felt you haven't been a chosen one. There is like some and nobody wants to hear this, nobody likes to know there is like a universal meaning and all of that. It's like, forget that. Like, I mean, I'm hurting, I don't care about universal, I don't care that everybody got shot, I got shot. This is like right now I have to deal with that, and that's kind of like how you're comprehending this, because it's kind of like feeling very, very intense. Yeah, Cancer moon can affect this. So you have this 11, 4 and 4 and 3, and 11 always talks about, guys, you need to keep an eye on a much higher goal, especially this is kind of like putting here with the Queen of Cups. So something that is going to look very devastating in the beginning of the week, something unsurmountable, something that you feel, you know, somebody did it to me, is kind of like going to work the other way. So it can go in any of these two ways. It can go either that you're going to find rejection is God's protection, and hence you're kind of like having this Four of Pentacles raising all the walls. For others, it's going to be almost like, especially, I don't know why I'm feeling this, that somebody may have discussed wedding plans or kind of like in stages of relationship, and the other person said, no, I would not consider it, and it just came as a shock and pulled away. Both parties pulled away, like with you being devastated with the situation. For some of you, if that was the situation, the person will come back and express their love very much, especially if you're Cancer male, and that's going to come through in that way. So it's really interesting that how is this going to work out. It's like that's why you have this 11 hidden in. It's saying it's much bigger stake in it, that you are really even realizing what's going to be happening over here. So let's see. Patience, don't overreact. Whatever is happening, as I said, it's happening for a reason, even if you're hurting. So if you're hurting and it's kind of like overwhelming, because Three of Swords can get very overwhelming. Of course, you're Cancer, you just like pull back under the rock and you're not moving, you're just looking with your eyes left and right. So instead, try to meditate. The fours are always talking about get your security, get kind of like the feeling of comfort. So meditation, a relaxation, take a long bath, cry your eyes out if this needs to kind of be let down, some frustration, and just simply hope for the best, because in about 50% of you it's going to happen, especially as I said, when something was already firmed up and firm, it's going to come back in a really glorious way. So it's also going to when it comes back, don't hesitate, don't say I don't want to see you, because it's happening that somebody is realizing, oh my gosh, I just blurred certain things out because I was unprepared, I was scared, and now I can talk. So don't also be judgmental when things come back to you, because they will be very positive and encouraging. Okay, the next one. Gemini. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. So we have, that's a Knight of Cups. Oh my gosh, this is lovely. Like somebody carrying through. Let's see what else. I don't know why, but you're getting a whole bunch of cards over here, which is really, really weird. Because they go up and down. Oh, did you guys deal with somebody who is or was in some kind of like relationship, and there was like a flirtation going on, but like with kind of like understanding, they cannot do anything, they are kind of like stuck, but to some extent you maybe felt guilty about it. So you have the Knight of Cups, but then you have the Eight of Swords reversed, you have Ace of Cups reversed, but then you have like the Four of Wands, Two of Cups, and that will be the Knight of Pentacles over here. Interestingly enough, no, that's a Page of Pentacles. Interestingly enough, kind of like it's some kind of like education that is really happening over here. So it looks like something went forward and something got stuck, or as I said, you kind of like try to orient yourself. It was maybe innocent flirt at work, or something has been going on with emotional component for sure. So this was not just like, oh, let's have the meeting or something at work. Somebody maybe didn't communicate, or somebody said I cannot do it, or even for those of you who are, let's say, in a third party situation, you wanted to be the one, and generally when you're in a third party situation, if you're the outsider, you will stay an outsider. I really have to tell you from this many years that I'm doing that. Having said that, it's not going to be your case, because I can see this person turning around if that's the case, or after the small dip in fortunes, you're going to have some kind of celebration. So there is like some union for you. If you don't have somebody coming your way, somebody might come through. That somebody might be somebody younger than you. It could be somebody who it felt that was moving too slow for kind of stuff, or maybe somebody's going to say, I had to deal with the child, for example, and there were like some kind of like issues that they had to deal with, and hence something that hasn't been possible before, it is possible now, and kind of like that's the direction I really want to take. And you're getting the tag one. I purposely put this one, so it's almost like you can write your own inscription here. You can write what you want. You can go in this different direction. Or this is also, to me, a clean slate. Even though it says angel cards, Drake and Tyler, it simply kind of like means to me that there is like a new level of destiny that is happening, and you shouldn't be making too many questions about it, because it's going to be romantic, it's going to be sweet, and just take it slow. That's kind of like what I see from the cards. So Gemini, lots of cards came through, not a single one major arcana, meaning there's going to be lots of things happening, and if you play your cards right, as I told you, everything will work out okay. So the tabula rasa card, that's right, the empty slate. So let's shuffle this a little bit. We have Leo, we have Sagittarius, and Pisces left. So let's see which one will be next. And it will be Sagittarius. Saggies, you are coming next. Okay, let's see what's happening here. What's happening here? You are getting the Emperor card. So there is like, I mean, you're getting in control, you're getting in charge, and then you're getting the King of Cups. So you guys might be dealing with a water sign, and maybe somebody's overly emotional, somebody's overly demanding, maybe somebody is it's not good, fire and water. Yes, it can create steams, you can feel the sizzle, but if this creates steam and steam and steam and steam, you're Sagittarius, you don't have that holding ability to kind of keep repeating the same thing over and over and over. That's why I think you're kind of like getting in charge of something. Look at this, you have 2 4s. Almost like you're moving away from some kind of situation. You feel that you overstayed in a situation. And this also can be father and daughter kind of like a thing. Maybe if you're male, and or if you are in a situation where, let's say, your husband has maybe a difficult relationship with a daughter, that could be playing a role as well. There is a big question about commitment that is really happening. Maybe you are kind of like maybe you want to commit, and you know, and you're being challenged time after time after time, and somebody is really not collaborating, and somebody is bringing a whole bunch of stuff over and over and over. You kind of like cannot see the end of that process. So You might actually come across as harsh, but never mind. Like, I mean, to me, the Emperor always talks about you're maybe harsh, but like, I mean, you have to get a control of the situation that simply got out of the way, and you will get a control of it. And damn everybody, because it is time. And I pulled two, and one is release and honesty. Well, you Sagittarians proverbially are known for honesty, and it's kind of like weird that I have this release and it says Boston. No, sorry, it's Boston. It's a school bus, not Boston bus. It's like, why would they put Boston over here? So it's a school bus. It's almost like, as I said, maybe there's like some kind of like schooling issue. Maybe there's going to be a kind of discussion. Maybe your child is a teenager and like you need to kind of discipline this, and this goes against your willingness to hug them and love them. So maybe it could be a little bit of tough love, and that's why this is happening. But honestly, in honesty card, she's looking herself in the mirror. So you probably are looking into how to resolve some issues to be permanent resolve, and that's why you're not going to have a band-aid in a situation. Instead, you're going to just kind of like figure it out how to kind of like do it, and maybe you're just going to blur it out, but whatever it is, you're going to feel that release, which I feel if the release card shows up, it means that something is culminating in you, that you need to kind of like express yourself. So also it's really good to do some creative projects. I'm painting. I have on my little laptop kind of like a doodle. So then what do you call a doodle, and the things that you can fill out for adults, and that usually takes an hour to do it, and it always kind of like calms me down. So it's always kind of like very neat. So we have a Leo and Pisces. Leo and Pisces. Letting it go, frozen. So Leo is going to go first, and so let's see. Leo, 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 Leo. What is in store for my big cats? You have Tarot Muha. That's not right, so that card shouldn't be there. But in a sense, if this came through and I forgot to pull it out, it's really interesting that your card came through. So it's almost, I should probably leave it, that I am getting here that not only your card but the entire deck, that you're like probably filled with experiences and filled with lessons and filled with things, and maybe you're just saying like I kind of like a little tired of all of that happening. Then you have the Ace of Swords, the Karma card, and then you have like Three of Wands reversed. The Three of Wands reversed, it's interesting. It is really showing up here. I don't know, guys. This is all adding to 13, and 13 is Death card. That card means transition. It means something has stopped and now something new is going to start. This is also like echoing a new beginning. It's a great card. It's a new beginning. The combination here is absolutely great. It almost looks to me that it can be a little bit problem with this 3 of Wands reversed. So instead of actively seeking, that you're waiting for something to come to you, because this is the card of ships. So partnership, relationship, right? Friendship, kind of like maybe you send your feelers out, maybe you're waiting for this to come back. Maybe this is simply that means you can be kind of like maybe dealing with some kind of commitment. Just pull one more card just in lieu of this this card over here, and I should probably put it in a deck. And you got you see, I told you I'm pulling two cards in lieu of this card, and this comes through. You just can't cheat tarot, and each and every time I see something like that, it kind of like gets me. So this is the King of Swords reversed. So we are going from the beginning stage of swords to the end stage of the swords. Maybe you have dealt through, you're cutting through, like, you know what, I had the flashes of the story, the grim story, Sleeping Beauty, when the prince in the end had to go with his sword and cut through all the stores to get to the sleeping princess. So somebody didn't do it for you, or you had to cut somebody off, and maybe something has felt really harsh, but this is going back to you and saying, guess what, you have been born with this card. The Strength is your card to cherish and to nurture. And look at it, it's a big hugging of the beast. So you are basically saying to yourself, I'm really strong. And maybe it's a setback, maybe somebody kind of like did some bite, or somebody cut me with their sword, and maybe you're coming back to some situations from the past, because that could to me indicate Mercury retrograding as well a little bit. And again, this didn't change the numerological kind of like value of it. So you're transitioning something else. Maybe you're mourning something or somebody, and you're going in this new phase by still remembrance of things that have been through and have kind of like influenced you in the past. Kylie, you can be the honesty, but some tarot readers, I don't know, guys, if you probably check the other tarot readers, like they're always like everything is sugar, everything is sweet, which is lovely. I like to kind of like put a positive spin, but you have to say when you say it, did I not tell you that card? Yeah, it goes in the birth card again. Oh my gosh, I'm having a goosebumps. You're getting huge, enormous messages. And if I don't put it now, see, I removed this card, but I didn't remove this card. I will not remove it. So we're going to put it right here, so this doesn't happen again, that I have this card messed up over here. And we are getting to Pisces. Not only are you usually the last, but like this time around you ended up being red last. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. This one wanted to come out. So we have Chariot, which is lovely. You might be dealing with Cancer. You might be traveling somewhere. The Empress and Five of Pentacles. Why is the Five of Pentacles here? And it's a little bit different than actually the other one, so I'm not really terrified with this. You see, it almost would look like a man is heading toward a woman. Generally, Chariot is single, and I always see him as a bachelor, but this bachelor really wants to head toward this Empress, but he doesn't have a collaboration. So this could be seen like during pandemic, you cannot travel during the pandemic, you cannot really express yourself. Surely that could be those obstacles, like I mean the other things are influencing the situation over here, right? It kind of like, however, it feels like that maybe the other person is not comprehending that you're trying to do something, and hence is maybe dismissing you, and hence maybe you feel like you're being let down for no valid reason whatsoever. This is like, to me, all kind of like, this is adding up to let's see, 10, 15. So 15 is the Devil card, and then when we reduce it further to 6, it's Lover's card. So I really don't think this is like so much of a horn dog attitude. As I said, it could go to a bachelor, to a commitment, and the kind of like you're willing to make this commitment. There is like somebody in your life who you're placing on a pedestal, but at the same time you also feel that this person is, so you have Libra, you have Taurus, you have Cancer strongly prominent here, you also have earth signs prominently sitting here, but you feel maybe this person will reject you, especially if you're a man. If you're a woman, maybe you're waiting for the partner to make some effort to kind of like show you, because you're Pisces, you're very sensitive, you give people lots of credit and lots of chances, but you still test them, knowing how basically influenced you can be and what can happen over here. So let's see what happens here, and you're getting commitment. So there is like a fear that you're not going to, that somebody's not going to commit, but that Lover's card is 6th card and the Devil. So I guess this is what it is. Like you're saying, is somebody here just to toy with me, or somebody is really willing to commit? So you're going to pose the question. You're going to ask, where is this going? How is this going? Especially if you're in a relationship. You don't want to be seen as, okay, you're wooing me, this is great, but I really at this stage, I'm ready to go in the next level. So maybe you're going to feel feel that, you know, the initial answer was not very satisfactory, but you're going to at least go in that direction, not to waste more time with this person than it is. But I do think it's going to go in the direction where you want to go, but I also feel it's going to take longer for this person to commit, and it's not going to happen in this particular week, but introducing the idea is probably a good idea. So this is ending the reading part, but this still means we have the doors and then another card for the mods that are here, so we can do that. Okay, so let me put this back, and I really hope this is not COVID, even though I do have some symptoms that would work that way. So let me guys think about the question you want to answer. Not the same one, it's not going to work. If you ask for the same one, you're just going to get more confused. This is more or less yes or no question, so ask yourself something else, and let's get down with that. So question number 1, number 2, and the door number 3. Okay, so let me open this to everybody now. Write down. Okay, if you guys pick the door number 1, the answer is yes. It's telling me, however, that there's like still something that needs to be done. You also need to look in the internal component, because if you're asking for a solution from somebody, yes, it's going to come through, but there's also a component inside of you, whether this is damage or baggage or something that you kind of like really want to move from to something else, but thinking just, you know, change of scenery, or if you just do that, things are going to go away. It's still telling you need to fix it inside of you, and it's not a big deal, but just for this to be like, I mean, successful and seal for the future. If you pick the door number 2, the answer is, interestingly enough, why is the 4 of Cups combining with the World? Again, you might be just dealing with these 4 signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius over here. This is a resounding yes, and it could be something that you're already kind of like giving up on, and it's telling you possibly not to give up. If anything, take a step back. Go back in a situation where things worked, where things were successful, when you did have a system, and just focus on that, because almost looks like asking for impossible is almost like making you wait for things that you know, like it's what was this we have in Croatia saying, you want cake over a bread, meaning like bread is offered to you, this is good enough to feed you, just don't ask for a cake in this particular time. So something like this, things are going to happen. Don't disturb that things by just trying to force them. I guess that probably would be the best answer. And the door number 3 is yes, this has an emotional component, and it's going to be something very emotional, satisfying. So something is already in the process. So thanks, Barbie, for Thanksgiving. So let me get one more card for my mods that are still here. And I didn't see here from Chris. He just like vanished. He showed up and vanished. Or maybe I didn't follow the chat. I don't know. Okay. Barb, you got 6, the Lovers. So it is reversed. So there's like some kind of like lack of commitment happening. Maybe if you have so this is a message to you, maybe you shouldn't commit. These are now, I'm reading differently, are messages for you. Maybe you shouldn't commit into something. Maybe you should really reconsider if something maybe can wait rather than to be applied right away. Then who I see here next is Kylie. Kylie, you're getting 5 of Swords. There is some kind of battle and a third party, and somebody thought they won, but it is reversed. Like things are actually coming to the surface. You don't even have to do anything. Somebody's being exposed for something, and their character is coming through. People are talking, and it's really not a good sight for them to see. who else is here? I did Barbara, I did Kylie, a Knitting Yogi is here. Knitting Yogi. And you're getting reversals, like Knave of Pentacles, something slow. It's telling you something is going to be slow, slower, or simply is maybe telling you, given that you're Virgo, just don't rock any boat. Like things are being built, things are there, things are not going to change. So this is going from slow to slow. So basically, just as I said, don't make any big waves, I guess, in this particular time. Anything else? Anybody else that is still stayed from? No, I didn't see interaction of anybody else over here. So that's basically what it is from me, guys. I hope everybody's going to have a beautiful day. I'm still hoping for the sun to come through, and this, like, I mean, 85 degrees that I have promised. It's warm. It's not that warm, but it's going to be crazy with Thanksgiving and with this new restrictions in place. So guys, wish me well. I didn't put a mark here for Pisces that I don't have this COVID. That would really suck, and really suck. I don't know who would walk the dog and stuff, but let's see. This is just a flu. Love you, everybody. Be good. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to play just some music for us to kind of like sign off, and next Saturday I'll see you again. We're going to celebrate birthdays again, and until that time, I wish you all the best. Love you guys.